Okay, for today's vocabulary, number one is destigmatize. So if you break down the root word here, it's stigmatize. And a stigmatism or stigma is basically a sort of bad stereotype or connotation about something. That it's like a bad idea that we have about something. So to destigmatize is to try to remove these associations that are kind of negative feelings or shame or disgrace. You know, there's this is very hard because I don't want to try and make a stigma like kind of it's hard to give an example, but let's say there's a stigma that the wife should not be working and that the wife should be at home taking care of the children and that the man should be away working all the time. This is a stigmatism. So especially in this article, Anne Hathaway is saying that we need to destigmatize these roles, meaning we need to get away from these stigmatisms. Number two is a stereotype. Stereotype is basically when you have a generalized idea about someone or a culture or a country or something. So, for example, one of my friends told me that he was afraid to travel to Japan because he was afraid to get on the train because he saw all the videos of people trying to get on the packed trains in the mornings going to work. And then I said, that's ridiculous, that's just a stereotype. And that that's, happens in the morning, before work, but it's not all the time. So it was just kind of a stereotype that he had in his head. You can have a stereotype just about anything. People stereotype Koreans as always drinking. People stereotype Russians as always drinking. So these are just overgeneralized ideas that people have about certain things. Number three, undervalue. Undervalue is when you fail to show the correct value or appreciation of something. It is insufficiently rated. Let's say you want to sell your jewelry and you go to a shop and you say, I have this is 24 karat gold. It's very high quality gold. I want to sell it. And they say, okay, we're going to give you 50,000 won for it. And then you just say, well, that's ridiculously undervalued. So that's not appreciating it to the full extent. Number four, broad ranging. When we talk about something that is broad ranging, that means that it is a very wide range, or it is basically there's several things that they cover. So most of the time when we talk about broad ranging, we are talking about either products. So a company can have a broad ranging offering. It can be like Google. Google has several services that they offer. Or it can be topics, broad ranging topics. Our class has broad ranging topics. Number five, overburden. Overburden is basically when you just give something too much obligation or weight to carry or a huge burden. You overwhelm them. So it's like if your manager says, so this person just quit in the office, I want you to take over all of their work. So now you have two positions. Then you're being overburdened at work. Great feeling. Number six, employee retention. So the word retention is basically you're trying to keep something. And actually, I think the word retention maybe originates as a scientific term. When you talk about water retention, something keeps water, it holds water in. The cells in your body have water retention. Now, retention, when you're talking about people, is you're trying to keep those people. Customer retention is you're trying to keep your customers to keep coming back to you. Client retention. So employee retention is the act of trying to keep your employees satisfied to want to stay with your company, your organization. And last, number 7, a call to action is a sort of expression that we say where we are demanding for some kind of action or some kind of response. It's not something that you say in a very calm situation. You don't really say it in a classroom. I'm making a call to action for everybody to finish their homework. It's not like that. It's a call to action is something that you demand for on a bigger, maybe social level, especially in any kind of social injustice or politics or scandal. So a call to action is usually when there is a huge demand being made to something quite big. The example here is quite good. It's about a North Korean refugee who escaped North Korea, and she is making a call to action for China to stop the support of North Korea. And that's all.